Imagine a young girl named Maya, Suraya, or a young boy named Muhammad, Chris, or imagine yourself, a little Lebanese girl or boy, eager to learn, but confined to a classroom with crumbling walls and outdated textbooks. Her teachers, though passionate, are overwhelmed and underpaid. This is not an uncommon situation in Lebanon. According to the Central Administration of Statistics, the primary enrollment rate in Lebanon has been fluctuating, which indicates instability in our education system. Furthermore, the recent economic crisis has exacerbated these challenges, and parents are now withdrawing their children from school. This is unacceptable. The question is, are we prepared to invest in that future? Are we prepared to invest in the educational system of Lebanon? Education is often called the great equalizer, yet in Lebanon, it has become a privilege rather than a right. If we allow the situation to continue, we are setting up generations and generations of children for failure. Think about how this affects not just Maya, or Suraya, or Chris or Ahmad, but thousands of children across our country. Without a proper education, what kind of future would they have? What kind of future Lebanon will have? The world is progressing at an unprecedented pace, with technological advancement shaping economies and job markets. So, without this education, Lebanon risks fading further behind. And this is a problem. Education serves as a bedrock of any thriving society. In Lebanon, however, this foundation is showing cracks. Public schools are grappling with overcrowding, while private institutions remain out of reach because of the high costs. So, we report in Lebanon that educational attainment varies significantly across regions, highlighting disparities that hinder national progress. Additionally, the quality of education in Lebanon is inconsistent, with many students that are unable and that are lacking access to essential learning tools such as technologies. So, if we fail to address this issue, we risk fostering a generation ill that will not effectively thrive and will not help our society and economy grow. This is why we have the United Nations. This is why we have the Sustainable Development Goals, and especially the SDG number 4, which is quality education, and which is very crucial for Lebanon. SDG number 4 aims to ensure inclusive and equitable equality in education for all, and it promotes lifelong learning opportunities. Achieving this goal would mean universal and local access to free and high-quality primary and secondary education, as well as the integration of digital skills, vocational trainings, and literacy programs that prepare students for the workforce. So, as we said, the need of action is urgent because Lebanon's education system is in crisis, and this crisis is deepening. Teachers are leaving because they can no longer afford what they want to live, because their salaries can no longer sustain them. Students are losing motivation because they lack basic resources. Families are even forced to choose between going to school or feeding their children. This is the reality in Lebanon. We can also say that the 2020 Beirut explosion further worsened the situation, damaging over 160 schools and affecting the education of more than 85,000 students. Without immediate intervention, the consequences will be severe. Education is not just about learning facts, it's about creating opportunities, fostering innovation, and ensuring a nation's survival in a competitive world. We can say that improving the educational system in Lebanon is hard, but it is achievable. For example, we can invest in this sector. The government should allocate a higher percentage of the national budget to education, ensuring funds are directed toward improving infrastructure, updating curricula, and providing competitive salaries for teachers. And international organizations like UNICEF and UNESCO have already contributed to educational programs in Lebanon to ensure sustainable investment. But we have to work ourselves. Secondly, we can implement teacher training programs because we know that continuous professional development will equip educators with the modern teaching methods that are needed to enhance the learning experience for students. Teachers should not just be compensated fairly, but also given opportunities to grow and adapt to new educational trends. Third, we can leverage technologies. So we can include digital tools that can provide students with access to many opportunities and learning technologies, which will bridge the gap between traditional education and the modern ways. Many countries have successfully transitioned to these new technologies, and we urge Lebanon to do so. Then we can also say that SDG number 4 specifically emphasizes that education should be equitable. So, children from all backgrounds, including those with disabilities and those from marginalized communities, should have equal access to quality education. And we have to foster a more equitable society. No child, your child, or even any children in Lebanon should be left behind due to economic hardship and social circumstances. We have to work toward this, and we will work toward this. Envision a Lebanon where every child, regardless of their socioeconomic status, attends a school equipped with modern facilities and led by motivated and well-trained teachers. Students will engage in dynamic lessons that encourage critical thinking and creativity, preparing them to excel in various fields. The economy flourishes as a result of a skilled and knowledgeable workforce, and societal inequalities will diminish. Imagine Maya, that was once struggling to find a decent education. She will become a doctor, an engineer, and will give back to the community. If we neglect our educational system, we face a future where poverty and unemployment rates that will soar. We will see more children dropping out of school and being forced into child labor. We will witness an increase in brain drain, while our brightest minds seek opportunities elsewhere, leaving our country Lebanon. So we have to work now to ensure a better Lebanon for tomorrow. Lebanon cannot afford to lag behind. By aligning with SDG 4, we can ensure that Lebanon builds a future-ready education system. We must take control of our future, starting with education. The time to act is now. I urge policymakers to prioritize education in national agendas and allocate the necessary resources. Community leaders and parents must advocate for a better education, and we have to hold authorities accountable for making mistakes. So, if you are a student, demand a better education. If you are a parent, push for better schools. If you are a teacher, continue to aspire despite the challenges. If you are a policymaker, understand that education is not an expense, it is an investment. The Lebanese people have always been known for their resilience. Now, let us challenge and channel that resilience into rebuilding and strengthening our education system. So, SDG 4 is the solution, achieving equality and quality education for all in Lebanon. By investing in this SDG, let us act now, not tomorrow, because every second counts. Thank you.